everybody. This is Brian. Welcome to Chiller Night Live, where from 8 p.m. Eastern Time until 9 o'clock, we'll talk about all things horror, science fiction, paranormal. I was just about to say, you picked a topic, we'll make a show out of it like I normally do. However, we have a predetermined topic for tonight. I just thought of a little bit ago, and that is horror movies in your state. So, Renee is like, wow, just tons of emojis everywhere. It is raining emojis. It's so crazy. Well, Renee, thanks for joining us. It's pretty neat. Tom says, Heidi ho, Tom. Renee says, yo, sup? What's happening? And Ava Hoagie, my baby's giving me some clinky, cheery glasses and a heart. Renee says, how's it going? It is going very well. How are you doing? I hope things are well and you are preparing for your big day. I think that's tomorrow coming up. Bonehead says, hey, hello, Chiller Night crew. Hey, Bonehead, thanks for joining us. Bonehead and Ava are both on Facebook. Dee says, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Dee. And let's see. All right, very good, very good. Interesting. Wow. I just opened up that page and saw all those. There's got to be like 100 emojis there from Renee's very first comment. Renee says, buckle up, Buttercup. You betcha. Put on your tinfoil aluminum hats. This is the way to horror sci-fi ufology. Yes, indeed. Brett says, hi, everyone. Hey, Brett. Thanks for joining us. Let's see. Ava Brian, she says. Yes, yes, yes. Now, I'm going to be watching to see if John Grozark the Grand is posting tonight, if he joins us tonight, because last week somehow we missed him. And so I will keep a very determined lookout for John Grozark, and we'll see if we can catch him tonight with hopefully another stellar intro that he is known for. Bonehead says, hello, Miss Ava, Brian, and the whole Chiller Night crew. I'm going to go to YouTube to see if you're on there. Okay. We have some people who prefer Facebook and some who prefer YouTube. It's interesting. Back when, for many years on YouTube was the most viewers I had. Now that's kind of taken a switch, and I think it's probably because it's on Bryan Hogue's page. It is on Chiller Night, Chiller Night Theater, and also Jack Shadow's House of Terror Facebook pages. So streams live on all those 4 Facebook pages. And, of course, on YouTube. So, that's what's going on there. Al says, hi, everyone. It's Chiller Night. Yes, it is, Al. Thanks for joining us. Let's see. Brett says, it was a heat wave out today. I know. It got into, I think, the 40s. I don't know. I could get to liking this. So, interesting. Yeah. I wonder if I can make any adjustments while I'm dangerous. If somebody has a long response, I can read it. I just have to stretch out the page. So I don't have the slidey bar underneath, and no longer does it just go to another space on the chat screen for some reason. Happened a few weeks ago once I did an update. So I always appreciate those updates because I never know what to expect after that is done. So come on. Hopefully John will join us. All right. But I wanted to say that t-shirts are now available at Chiller Night at the Cranberry Mall in Venango County, Pennsylvania. So that is, of course, the Chiller Night store, where you can go and you can choose from 2, for now anyways, 2 horror-themed escape rooms That is the Witching Hour and Zombie Outbreak. See, there's right there. Both are 1 hour escape rooms, and you can book those by calling 814-209-8214, or you can go to chillernight.com. And again, let's take a gander at those t-shirts. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that in a little bit. Bonus says, I go to Facebook because your show doesn't appear on YouTube until about 5 minutes in, LOL. Plus, I get to see if you're having a show. Very true. Stephanie says, awesome. Hey, Stephanie, thanks for joining us. Renee says, yes. Cry, I have surgery, operation tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., and I am scared to death of pain. Cry. Oh, I think. I know it's something to be. I think I think you said that you were having the rotary cuff. I remember it. I had that on November 8th, 2022, and I forget what day that was on, but I did do the show. It was either the next day or the day after that or something like that. It was only a matter of days, and I had my arm in a sling. I think it was, yeah. I've actually had surgery on both my shoulders, but the last time I had it, it was the right shoulder. I didn't think it was that bad. The worst part of it for me wasn't even the shoulder. It was them reattaching the muscles in my right bicep. That I think took a bit longer than the actual shoulder itself. So I think you're gonna do just fine, Renee. Of course, in you facing a surgery, I know it can be a little nerve-wracking, but I have no doubt that you'll do fine. Tom says, was in the mid-70s here today. Oh, wow. Nice. Brett says, yeah, t-shirts. Yay. All right. Yeah, we got those in. Got those in. Pretty happy about that. Pretty good price. $22 a t-shirt. I think that's a pretty good price. Bonus says, it was $70 here in Corpus Christi, Texas today. Wow, that sounds very nice. Renee says, I wasn't sure whether or not to watch the show and be quiet because I'm fearful and worried. I know, I wasn't sure whether to bring it up myself, but I did want you to know we're thinking of you, okay? And worried just to sleep all night long till my commute to the surgery center. If I get quiet, just know I'm still here, maybe? Here's John. But yes, Renee, we appreciate you being here tonight, and we'll certainly be thinking about your surgery there tomorrow. John says, it may be the shortest month of the year, but now it's time for the longest hour in history. It's Tuesday night, and time again for Chiller Night Live. This is Crozak DeGrand, and now here's our host, Bryan Hogue. Yes, here's our host. Thank you, Crozak DeGrand. And now I have to acknowledge something, because I didn't see this until, I think it was the day after, or was it Wednesday or Thursday of last week? John had a birthday. So happy birthday, happy belated birthday to John. And wanted to wish you a happy birthday. Hope you had a fantastic day and that you had a great time. And I don't know if you did anything special on your birthday, but I hope you had an amazing day. So happy belated birthday to John. Anybody else? Anybody else's birthday that we have there within the last week or so, or even coming up? John kept it on the low down, you know. Yeah, but hope you had a good day. Bonus says, good luck on your surgery, Miss Renee Cruz, and hello to Miss Stephanie Press. Yes. Renee says, watching, listening. She's with us, and we will be with you tomorrow in our thoughts and hearts. Bonus says, howdy D and the inimitable Tom Paisley. Ooh. Renee says, you're getting a little fancy there. Mr. Vernacular. Renee says something, not sure what that first word is. I got to eat, fatten up, and get stoned with weed. All right, there you go. There you go. Thank you for sharing, Brian. You are very welcome, Renee. Brett says, positive thoughts coming your way. There you go. Absolutely. Everyone's wishing Renee good luck. Stephanie says, happy belated birthday, John. Bunny says, we're all praying for you and thinking good thoughts, Miss Renee. You're going to be fine. Just please remember and don't forget, we all care. Yes. Yes, we do, Renee. So you'll be bouncing back in no time. Of that I am sure. Dee says, happy birthday, John. Thank you. As for my birthday, John says. I like that sinister little shark. I don't know what that is exactly, but I like it. Bonus says, happy belated birthday, John, and many, many more. Tom says, my birthday's coming up in November. Whoa! Happy birthday to Tom. All right, we'll come back. We'll come back to that one in a few months, in a few ticks. Let's see. Stephanie's got some, or Renee's got some little emojis there. Opponent says, hey there, SBC. How's life and the weather over there? SB, is SBC? Oh, there he is. Yeah, I didn't even see ya. You're like a ninja. You just stuck in there. SBC says, hello, everyone. Happy birthday. Yes. SBC, thanks for joining us. Now, I was thinking about you, SBC. So, as I was putting together tonight's, thinking of a topic for tonight a little bit ago, the topic is horror movies that take place in your state. Now, we're going to have to expand that for SBC's sake. So, let's look up. I can go to the horror map. You throw out the state that you are in. I know the state that some of you are in, but as those states are thrown out, let's see. Horror movies that take place in Germany. One right here. Nosferatu, a symphony of horror. The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Gollum, how he came into the world. German horror films. We don't want just German horror films. We want them to have taken place in Germany. So, and speaking of Nosferatu, Ava and I watched the new Nosferatu just Sunday, and I didn't mind that one. I didn't mind it. I've seen better, but I've seen worse. How about that, huh? It was. I thought it was entertaining. I didn't mind. I think it was mentioned about the slow pace and all that. I get that. I do, but I also didn't mind because I did enjoy the acting. I thought that the acting was done well, and I just enjoyed the story and kind of, in my head placing it with the original Nosferatu movie. So I had fun with it, and I think Ava enjoyed it as well. All right. Stephanie says Ohio. All right. Here we go. Ohio. All right. Here we go. Nightmare on Elm Street is the first one. From 1984. The Faculty. 1998. Trick or Treat. Pretty good. 2007. Babysitter Massacre. 2013. I gotta say, I haven't seen that one. And The Dead Next Door. 1989. So there you go for Ohio. Pull up the chat. Massachusetts, the home of Jaws. Oh, all right. We'll see if Jaws is on here. Massachusetts. Here we go. Jaws, number 1, 1975. Session 9, 2001. Not sure what that is. Shutter Island, 2010. All right. The Boston Strangler, 1968. Good year. Some of the finest people were born that year. Reanimator, 1985. We mentioned that last week when we were talking about zombies. Reanimated Dead. The Dunwich Horror from 1970. I'm not sure what that is. So, Ava says, I didn't mind it either. I enjoyed it. Just wish he was cuter. Oh, yeah, she had a problem with Count Orlok because he was all... Oh, I think maybe Tom mentioned that last week. Somebody had mentioned they made him like just look like the old guy, you know. And I get that if you're really into the traditional, like the Dracula of Bela Lugosi or Christopher Lee, that regal looking, tall, human looking. Let's just start with that. And this thing was but it does take me back to the original Nosferatu. He was a rat-like looking, vermin-looking creature, and I didn't mind that just because and I've said this before. I do like the Dracula look. I do like that, but for this, I don't mind movies where the vampire is very monstrous looking, as well as its behavior, So yeah, Ava didn't like that. Tom says SBC doesn't count. He's got every version of Nosferatu in his country. Yeah. You are officially the first, Bone. For what? Oh, Bonehead says, well, Tom, I'll just go ahead and be the first to wish you a happy birthday this year, buddy. Yep. SBC says Frankenstein. Okay, cool. Brett says, good night to all. Hey, Brett. All right. Good night to you. I will likely see you tomorrow if you're working. D says, some from Pennsylvania. Night of the Living Dead. Dawn of the Dead. Haha. Creepshow, Day of the Dead, Monkey Shines, The Dark Half. Yeah, let's see if there's any other ones that were mentioned in Pennsylvania that might not have been on D's list. Let's see, I gotta find Pennsylvania. I have this in large, so it's not laid out as Pennsylvania, Night of the Living Dead. 1968. The Sixth Sense from 1999. Would that take place in Philadelphia? I'm guessing. I don't remember. I didn't remember that took place in Pennsylvania. Dawn of the Dead, as Dee said, 1978. The Blob, 1958. The Blob. That's right. Signs, 2002. I actually forgot about that. That it was 2002. Sinister, 2012. Wicked Little Things, 2006. Mirrors, 2008, and Taking Lives, 2004. A lot of horror movies in Pennsylvania. It's a scary place, folks. Damn, that's right. Frankenstein 2, Tom says. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Renee says, there's a new Marvel Comics movie. There's a Mandela effect in it, though. In my world, the Hulk is green, and in the movie, he's red. And also, Captain America, instead of a white man, he is black. Just like Nick Fury was Samuel L. Jackson, but in the comic book, he was a Caucasian man. Yeah, they have all the different... Well, they do have a version of the Red Hulk in the comics. And I don't, I was a big avid comic collector growing up, but I haven't read comics in a long time. I didn't know if I remember there was a guy named Johnny Walker that took over as the as Captain America, and Captain America became the Captain, and then he reclaimed his costume and became Captain America again, and then Johnny Walker became U.S. Agent. So but I don't remember the Falcon. I remember the Falcon as a kid, as he and Captain America shared. They had the same comic book, There was a Falcon story in the Captain America, but I don't remember the Falcon becoming Captain America. I don't know if that's in the comics, but they did it for the movie. I've not seen that movie, not yet. I'll wait till that streams. But it says, yep, guess SBC does. Japan got them giant kaiju there. Germany got all them vampires and other creatures lurking about. Yeah. Yeah, I say right now SBC wins. Renee said, just like, oh, I read that. I remember 1968, Tom says, yes. Good year, good year. Fine, fine quality of humans were born that year. Renee says, after my surgery sometime, I want to see that Hulk in 3D in the movie theater. The Red Hulk. Oh, okay. Is it in 3D? I didn't know that. Kevin says, good evening all. Hey, Kevin, thanks for joining us. Tonight's topic is horror movies that take place in your state. I am in Pennsylvania, so I just read off Pennsylvania. D is in Pennsylvania, so we just read those ones. Wait, Bonehead. I mean, come on now. We got to get to Texas. Let's see. Texas. Guess what the first one is? Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 1974. From Dusk Till Dawn, 1996. Devil's Rejects, From Dusk Till Dawn. That was a good movie. I remember going to the theater to see that one. And I remember having Tom Savini on an episode of Chiller Chat. He was my guest, and we got to chat with Tom Savini. That was pretty cool. He played Sex Machine in From Dusk Till Dawn. The Devil's Rejects, 2005. Grindhouse, 2007. Bubba Hotep, 2002. Borderland, 2007. Blood Simple from 1984. I don't know. I'm not familiar with that one. Bats, 1999. Okay, so we got a pretty good amount there in Texas as well. I think Pennsylvania and Texas are kind of leading the charge here. I don't know if you, Tom says, I don't know if you good bone. What? But you is officially the first. All right, I don't know. I messed something there, but that's all right. Brad says, I had a dream the other night. I dreamed that it was January 1st, 2027. Did you have that dream? Because Dracula and Frankenstein, me being so overexcited, are in the public domain. Only to wake up and being ticked off. It was only a dream. Drats. Well, hey, Brad, thanks for joining us. If you don't know, last week was John's birthday, and coming up very, very soon in November is going to be Tom's birthday. So we want to remember them each for their birthdays coming up. Bonehead, if you want to wish Tom a happy birthday and be the first, you've already, you're already beat. Bonehead already got you beat on that one. Tom says there was a 1993 version of Body Snatchers. Yeah. That was filmed and takes place in Alabama. All right, let's see what else takes place in Alabama. All right. There you go. Alabama's not doing too good. Okay, but it does say, okay, the first one, let me read it first. Dead Birds from 2004. I don't recall that one. Laid to Rest, 2009. House, 2008. And like Tom just mentioned, Body Snatchers, and it says 1993. Yes. I didn't see that 1993 versions of Body Snatchers. But it says, I know about them Body Snatchers. That's why I'm only a skull now. Them buggers took everything else. But it says, I remember Johnny Walker. Wasn't he red? Are you talking about the drink? Renee says, I watch Shin Ultraman on my one side of my tablet, split screen, and Space Godzilla on the other. Awesome frickin' flicks on Tubi. Ah, sounds good. Brad said, is it 2027 yet? Oh, we're getting there, Brad. We're getting there. SBC said, werewolves, vampires, and most of our politicians. Germany is full of monsters. Oh, no. Oh, that's horrible. Renee says, ah, I see a red Incredible Hulk in the comic. Rad, sick. Yeah, there is a red Hulk also in the comics. Um, Jason says, Ghoul evening to my fellow ghouls and to our esteemed ghoul leader. Well, ghoul evening, Jason. Thanks for joining us. Um, Tom says, LOL, SB, you can just hold our beer. Jason says, on my way home from Cornhole watching YouTube while driving home. Shh, he says, oh, you be careful there. Renee says, I love that naked woman running around in Night of the Living Dead flick. Oh, yeah? We've had, I didn't have the naked woman from Night of the Living Dead, but I did have other folks who were in Night of the Living Dead or involved in the production on the show at various times. John Russo, and Russ Streiner, played Johnny, the Coming to Get You, Barbara, of course. Gary Streiner, Russ's brother. Gary helped out with the production, sound, and lighting, and all that. So that was pretty cool. And of course, Tom Savini, I just mentioned him. He did the remake of Night of the Living Dead. So, another Pennsylvania movie. I had really, bonuses, I had a really bad reaction to meds, and it was damn scary and horrible. Thank yous for helping me get through it. I'm seeing the post above that. I missed that. Bonus says, hey, I want to thank Chiller Night crew and Brian and Miss Ava. Last week I was having a freak panic attack and difficulty breathing. Ian's guys talking for that hour show helped me get calmed down. Oh, wow. I hope you're doing better, and I'm glad that we were able to help you get through that or deal with it anyways. Those could be scary things. Brad says, do you ever promote Gross Fest in Pittsburgh anymore, Brian? I haven't been involved with Gross Fest since 2019. Not for any other reason other than it was, I've just been busy with the haunts and then the store. And that's the only reason, because I had a good time when I was there, and I thought it was a good event, and it was a well-attended event. So, but as far as me promoting it, no, I haven't. I randomly, will maybe like a comment of theirs and vice versa. But that's about it. I hope their event is doing well, and I wish them lots of luck. But no, I can't say that I have, Brad, to be honest with you. SBC says, the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Yeah, I did. That was one of those on the list as soon as I pulled up Germany. Yeah, I think that was right next after Nosferatu. Brian says, hello all. Hey, Brian, thanks for joining us. Tom says, I didn't see it either, but had Meg Tilly and Forrest Whitaker in it, among others. Oh, the Body Snatchers, 93, I think you're talking about. Bonus says, yes, sir, Brian. That was a lame, bad joke on my part. Oh, about the drink. PBR, hey, there's PBR. I'm getting the wave emoji, so I will return the wave in kind, good sir. Thanks for joining us. You know who I am? I miss like Lasercorn, and now Raymond still pops up here. George, I know he watches this, I think, on the following day. So if you guys if you're ever watching this later, just know that even if you're not on here, we're not mentioning it, we do think about you. So hopefully, if you get the chance, of course, there's Glam Fangs, there's David and Diane Sylvia. We do think about you guys, and we wish you could join us on Tuesdays, but I understand that's not always practical. And this probably isn't the greatest night to be doing something like this. It was fun back when we did it on Saturday nights. You never know. I don't know what will happen. I have been kind of, I was reminiscing on my Facebook page about the live shows that we had that we started in 2019. The live Chiller Night theaters where Jack Shadow was hosting. Later on, I did it just to keep the show there till I retired Jack. But that was fun. We did that for, we did it a couple years that way, and so that was. I remember March of 2020 when the whole quarantine was initiating, coming into effect, and I had already deemed this, I'd already said, hey, we're going to have Monster March. We're going to have a live Chiller Night Theater every Friday. We was Friday Night Frights at that time, and then we were, that gave me time to edit the show, and then it became next Saturday's feature episode on Stream TV. But I don't know. I miss doing the shows. I do miss doing them, but I just reminisce about stuff like that. That was fun. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. Maybe we can do that again sometime. Bonus SPC, I'm not even going to touch that one about Germany being full of monsters, LOL. Jason says, Night of the Living Dead 3D was good with Sid Haig. Do you know, Jason, I have not seen Night of the Living Dead with Sid Haig. I mean, I've seen it. I've seen it to back in the day to actually rent, but I've not actually seen that movie. But it was good, huh? I've not heard much about that, to be honest with you. Jason says, I hope the Venango Mall stays open. Yeah, I've been seeing about that. Was it George, Ghoul World Order? He would occasionally be on here, but he posted a picture the other day that showed the sign as you're driving in the entrance. The sign for the Venango Mall looked like it was bent over from the wind, I guess from wind damage. So that's bad. Brian says he knows You're Alone with Tom Hanks 1980 was filmed entirely on Staten Island, New York. What? I didn't even know about that movie. All right, let's go to New York. You wouldn't think that it would be that hard. Here it is, all the way down by Florida, New York. I'm telling you, you don't see what I'm seeing, but it's not in order at all. Okay, New York. The Amityville Horror, 1979. Rosemary's Baby, 1968. The Burning, 1981. Jacob's Ladder, 1990. All right. American Psycho from 2000. Sleepaway Camp. All right. 1983. Maniac, 1980. He Knows You're Alone, 1980. The Sentinel, 1977. All right. Interesting. Nice little list there. Bonus says, thanks, Brian. They took me off those meds, thank God. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that they did that. I'm glad this helped take your mind off of it, at least for an hour, anyways. Hopefully they can get that straightened out. Let's see. Let me catch up on bonuses. I wonder what happened to Laser Corn. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna get caught up a little bit on the comments. So if I missed any of your comments, I'm sorry. I'm just trying not to be too in the past when I'm commenting. Where bonuses, please let me pass along a hello and best wishes from Glamfang. She is doing well and really does miss everyone here. Ah, that's cool. Well, tell her we said hello, and we do indeed miss her. Stephanie says, I heard about the shutdown thing when I was at dinner with friends. What shut down? Something shut down? Oh! Brad says things changed dramatically since COVID, hasn't it, Brad? So you're talking about the shutdown, the quarantine? Is that what you mean? If not, just let me know. But SBC says, is someone from the state where the best horror film of all time was filmed I'm talking about Manos, of course. Manos was filmed in wasn't that filmed in Texas or or Arizona maybe? Let's see. What the heck? Let's see here. I don't know. I don't know. I'm about ready to Google it because I don't see it. Can imagine them leaving Manos, the hands of fate, off of this list. I mean, if you were from that state, whatever state it would be, you'd want to claim that. Let's see. Oh, Stephanie says yes, in March of 2020. Yeah, yeah, that was weird, wasn't it? That was a weird time, very weird time. That was it was strange because it was like you didn't know. You really didn't know the severity of it. You didn't know if it was ever going to be okay again. And it was just very strange place mentally to be processing all this stuff. And I was just determined to get through it, you know, with the every Friday night. It seemed like, oh, okay, let's do it. We said we'd do it, so Jacob's Ladder was disturbing, PBR says. Yeah, yeah, it sure was. I saw it one time, but yeah, I remember that. Stephanie says I actually couldn't even finish American Psycho. Oh yeah, that was a weird one, huh? SPC says I remember a German horror movie from the 80s in which a group of people are locked in a church and get killed by vampires or demons. I can't remember the title. Really? That's kind of cool. Renee says, Beyond the Door and Demon Seed were scary. Beyond the Door and Demon Seed were scary. Ah. D says, where was The Changeling filmed? The Changeling? Where was The Changeling filmed?
Filming mainly took place on the Universal Studios backlot in Los Angeles. This answer is from Wikipedia.
All right. In the backlot of the Universal Studios in Los Angeles. That's what my phone just told me. So hopefully it's got the right movie in mind. Exorcist and Omen, Renee said. Stan says, good evening. Hey, Stan, thanks for joining us. We are talking tonight about tonight's topic is horror movies that take place in your state. So if you want to throw your state in there, we'll look it up. Let's see. Brad said, COVID shut down Gross Fest in 2020. Yeah. Yeah. Or was it... You know, I'm trying to remember how that went. You know, I think in 2020, and maybe I'm remembering this wrong, it seemed to me that no, I think you're right. Yeah, 2019 is the one I think that we went to, and Jack Shadow was there. And then 2020, I think you're right, where COVID, it was, I think it was in April of 2020, it was scheduled, I think. And that, yeah, it was shut down. So, John says, from New Jersey's The Toxic Avengers, The Class of Nukem High, and New York City Terror Firmer, and Sergeant Kabuki Man, New NYPD from Trauma, of course. Okay, now I'm going to check out New Jersey here, see what they have listed. All right, here we go. Friday the 13th, 1980. I got to admit, I didn't know that. I didn't know that that's where Camp Crystal Lake was in I thought it was in Illinois. Okay, it's in New Jersey. Well, that makes sense because Jason went to Manhattan in part, 8? Something like that. Alice Sweet Alice, 1976. The Toxic Avenger, 1984. The Prowler, 1981. Mother's Day, 1981. And Christmas Evil, 1980. cool. Renee says, awesome show. It's keeping me calm. Ah, very cool. Very cool. Thank you, Renee. And Jason says, Paul may move to Texas. Oh, really? He might move to Texas? Paul. Oh, because of Manos being possibly from there? I don't know if Manos... All right. Where was Manos, The Hands of Fate filmed?
Manos, The Hands of Fate was filmed in El Paso, Texas.
Okay, it was filmed in El Paso, Texas. I think Bonehead's said that before. But you know what? I think I asked the wrong question because this topic for tonight is where did it take place? And I'm sure it did take place in Texas. Maybe the other movie that was asked about earlier on in the studio in Los Angeles wasn't really supposed to take place there. Stephanie says, yeah, sorry, Brian, I was talking about the quarantine 2020. I think I read that. But it says, I'm in the state of confusion, but I'll bet you ain't got none of that one. Jason says, Beyond the Door was a good Italian knockoff of Exorcist. Now I'm going, let's see, Brad says, how is the Chiller Haunted House and gift shop coming along so far? Anything new coming? Well, we have our t-shirts. We just got them in a few days ago. And I'll tell you what. Let me show you. We have t-shirts of Art the Clown. We have this shirt right here. We have, let me go this way with it. Frankenstein. That's a pretty cool t-shirt. We've got the Creature from the Black Lagoon. We've got Jason of the Nike parody of Just Kill It. I kind of like that one. Terrifier. Slashers. I really think that's cool. You can see the monsters there. Let me show you that one a little better. Michael, Freddy, Jason, Ghostface, Chucky, and Leatherface in the Mystery Machine. So, Jason Voorhees, that's a neat looking one. And back to Art the Clown. So, yep, we have those t-shirts are in at Chiller Night, at the Chiller Night store at the Cranberry Mall in Venango County, Pennsylvania. Fear Street Part 1. Stan says, Fear Street Part 1, 1994. Huh. What state? Do you have a state that you wanted? Or maybe you put that on there and maybe I passed it. I'm trying to catch up with the, so I'm not too far behind responding to you guys. I know there's a delay here, but trying not to get too far behind. Renee says, I love the return of Swamp Thing starring Heather Locklear. Unfortunately, she died in the movie. Spoiler! No, from the 80s. But she got resurrected by Swamp Thing. So we have a happy ending with a piece of his plan stuck in her foot or body or something. All right. No, I'm just kidding about the spoiler. But it says, I meant to say I am in a state of confusion. That happens. Wrong turn. 2021. Stan says, what state are you in there, Stan? Oh, are you in West Virginia? I see Wrong Turn, 2003. Mothman Prophecies, 2002. Here's a good one. Tucker and Dale versus Evil, 2011. Silent Hill, 2006. And Dark Harvest, 2004. Bonus says, no, Brian, Bonehead never said anything about Manos. Anything good, that is. No, you won't get an argument from me there. Let's see. Tom says, Changeling was filmed in L.A. Aha! but takes place in New York City. Okay, I didn't think of that when I was asking the question, but realized that when I was asking the second one. Yes, where does it take place? All right, New York City. Renee says, scary clown. Jason says, and this is why I try to keep up, because something could have been said that she's responding to, Renee's responding to it. I'm probably a minute or two behind you. Jason says, OMG, I'm going to have to buy those t-shirts. Do you do mail orders? What I think I'm going to do, we don't yet, I don't have it set up to do like an online store yet, but we will be doing something to where if somebody wants us to ship, something out to them, we'll work on setting something up to we can accommodate folks that way. So so that's cool. Stan says Scream 2. Scream 2. Now where was that at? I tell you, Nate Reagan, who we've had on Chiller Chat, would know, because he is the Scream expert. Was contacted by the folks who were they were making Scream 4 to be a costume consultant for the movie. Brad says your sales would go through the roof if Dracula and Frankenstein in 2027. Yeah, I'm sure they would. I'm sure they would. You never know. You might even see Jack Shadow back by then. Stephanie says, I love the Frankenstein shirt. I do too. Oh, Stan says Ohio. Okay. Here we go. Ohio. All right. Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984. All right. The Faculty, 1998. Trick or Treat, 2007. Babysitter Massacre, 2013, and The Dead Next Door. All right. Some reason I didn't remember Nightmare on Elm Street in Ohio. Interesting. It's kind of making me remember some things. Renee says, Beyond the Door looks like it was filmed here in San Francisco. Dominic Johnson says, hey, Brian and everyone, what about Chicago? All right, well, we'll go and see if Illinois has Chicago specifically mentioned. Or if you remember one that takes place in Chicago. But Illinois is Halloween, 1978. Anybody heard of that one? Child's Play, 1988. Candyman, 1992. Henry, The Portrait of a Serial Killer, 1986. The Relic, 1997. And Alligator, 1980. All right, those are the ones from Illinois. There you go. All right, and thanks for joining us, Dominic. Patsy Van 1. Hey, Patty. Yeah. Looking forward to mail order from your store. Yeah, we'll get something set up because I've been having a lot of inquiries about that. So we will get something set up. Whether we, probably even before we actually get an online store set up, maybe we'll just have it to where if folks want to order something, we'll figure out a shipping and just send it out your way. Do something through PayPal. Bonus says, well, Gino, oops, sorry, I meant Godzilla, 1998, took place in New York City. Oh, was that not the true Godzilla? Didn't look like. Bonus says, hello, Pat Savan and Dominic Johnson. Dominic says, we had a real-life horror movie, John Wayne Gacy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you did, huh? Bonus says, that's a different way of pronouncing my name, Miss Renee. It may have possibilities, LOL. Yeah, this is a little different, huh? Dominic says, hey, Bonehead, hope you're good. Renee says, many horror movies have been filmed in the San Francisco Bay Area, including It Came From Beneath the Sea, 1955, Vertigo, 1958, The Fog, 1980, and The Lost Boys, 1987. Yes, and we'll see also if they have any other ones here that are listed in California, Renee. For Renee, we have Scream 1996. Okay. The Lost Boys 1987. Okay. The Fog 1980. Night of the Demons 1988. That was a fun little 80s horror movie. Poltergeist 1982. The Birds 1963. Invasion of the Body Snatchers 1978. We were just talking about Body Snatchers. Tom mentioned that from 1993. Invasion of the Body Snatchers 1978. When a Stranger Calls 1979. Paranormal Activity 2007. I remember that one. Thoroughly enjoyed that first one. The Howling 1981. Vacancy 2007. Zombieland 2009. And Zodiac 2007. Now, we were talking about zombies last week. That was the topic. And I want to see if Georgia. They did. Even though it's not a movie, I was wondering if they... I mean, the setting for The Walking Dead, you know, or a lot of it took place in Georgia. Deliverance, 1972. I'm just reading Georgia's now because I'm here. The Walking Dead, 2001 Maniacs, Slaughter, 2009, Squirm, 1976, and The Slayer from 1982. Very cool. Let's see. Nailed it. I win, Renee says. Yeah. You did good. Patty says, Godzilla in name only. Gino. Yeah, it was. I was so disappointed in that. Like, I was excited, you know, because I really enjoyed, I'm not a fanatical fan of Godzilla, but I do enjoy the movies. I sat there many times as a kid watching science fiction theater or chiller theater, you know, or there were some nights when Chilly Billy would play Godzilla. But I think mostly I would see those on like science fiction theater on Saturday afternoons. But I always enjoyed that. Jason said, but then I'm watching the, I don't know what that was, but it's not Godzilla to me. Jason says, Iowa had Romero's remake, The Crazies, take place here. All right, let's see. Let's see what else they have in Iowa. The Crazies, 2010, okay, right there on the top. Lights, Camera, Kill, 2004. Through the Night, 2007, I'm not familiar with that. Fell, again, I'm not familiar with that. 2010. All right, so let's see. We got any? What's a famous? Let's see. We did Pennsylvania, Texas. Those had a Maine. Here's Maine. Okay, let's look at Maine's. I don't know if any of you are from Maine, but Salem's Lot, 1979. Silver Bullet, 1985. Pet Cemetery, 1989. We got a lot of Stephen King influenced. The Mist, 2007. Ah, wow, why would that be in Maine, huh? Night of Dark Shadows, 1971. Lake Placid, 1999. And The Uninvited, 2009. All right, those first ones make sense, and they take place in Maine. Castle Rock and all that. So, Stan says Warren Valley, Ohio, and Trick or Treat. That's right. Well, I didn't realize it was Warren Valley, Ohio, but yep, Trick or Treat, 2007 in Ohio. Renee says Cannibal Corpse Zombies. Where? I thought that was like some of that movie takes place like outside of the States, doesn't it? I saw that a long time ago. Kind of a disturbing movie. Or wait a minute, no, I'm thinking of Cannibal Holocaust, or I'm drawing a blank. Okay, so I'm not thinking of the movie that you just mentioned. But it says, I'm okay. Hope you're doing well, Dominic. But it says, Brian, I was beyond disappointed when Godzilla 98 came out. I bet you would be. Yeah, definitely. A true uh, uh, Godzilla fan. And seeing that, rubbish. They should have called it a remake of The Beast from 2000 or 20,000 Fathoms, even though it would have stunk, though. Yeah, you're right, though. It did have more of that look and feel to it. Tom says The Fog was set in Antonio Bay, Oregon, wasn't it? We will see. Let's take a look. Come on, let's go to Oregon. Here we go. Well, I don't see The Fog on here. But I'll just read them. Phantasm, 1979. I didn't realize that. The Ward, 2010. Hear No Evil, 1983. Just Before Dawn, 1981. Mr. Brooks, 2007. The Possessed, 1977. And Unhinged from 1982. Wait a minute. Maybe you were asking about The Fog. Antonio Bay, Oregon. What? I would have thought that The Fog would have been like somewhere in the New England area or something like that. I don't know. I would have thought that they would have had that here somewhere. I'm very quickly scanning and seeing if I can find The Fog, where it takes place. I wonder if my phone can tell me. Oh, we got like 2 minutes left. Where does the movie The Fog take place?
The movie The Fog takes place on an island off the coast of Oregon. This is from Eric DS.
Oh, good call there, Tom. Yep, it does. Which I'm going to assume is Antonio Bay. But it says Antonio Bay, California, Tom. I don't know. I'll let you guys sort that out. That's what my phone's saying. They filmed it at Point Reyes, California. Okay, they could very well have filmed it there, but he's saying that it took place, like the setting of the movie took place in Oregon. So we had a few of those come up where they filmed it somewhere else, but it was supposed to take place somewhere else. Renee says the 1981 movie Evil Speak was filmed in Santa Barbara, California, and Los Angeles, California. Filming locations. All right, let's see. I'm seeing it's 8:59, so which state is the one with the fewest movies shot in? I'll do it real quick. It looks like Mississippi, just from the 30,000 mile or feet look here. I'm going to say Mississippi. It looks like there's only 3. Straw Dogs, 2011. The Premonition, 1976. And Southern Shockers, 1985. At least according to the map that I'm looking at here. The visual reference for tonight, which is from bloodydisgusting.com. So that's where the map I'm looking at is. Eyes to the Skies, UFOs. Renee says, yes. And hey, you're going to do just fine tomorrow, Renee. So you get a good night's sleep and get well rested. And Tom says, good night all until next week. Yes, good night. And again, happy birthday to Tom, whose birthday is in November, coming up quick. Let's see. All right, looks like everybody is saying their good nights. And thank you, everyone, for joining me and each other for another night of Chiller Night Live. So have a good night. Have a good Chiller Night. We'll see you next week.